Hey there, Heather here from Circle with Heather, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how my philosophy of earth-based spirituality shows up in my circles. So you don't have to be somebody that says you align your life with the tenets of earth-based spirituality, if there are any specific tenets, to join the circle. But this is how, since that's how I describe my spirituality, this is how it shows up since I'm designing the circle and I'm creating the space. That does show up through me. And I'll tell you a little bit about how that shows up. So the first way it shows up is that frequently in circle we will call the four directions, especially in in-person circles. I'll have I call it an altar cloth laid out, a beautiful mandala piece of cloth, like a tapestry, and I have items that remind me of different elements, and we will call the directions to the north, to the south, to the east, and the west, to really notice where we are on the surface of the planet, right? So it's one way that we bring ourselves into the present. Another thing that we do is we name our ancestors. So it's recognizing, we do that practice to recognize that we are not all just one lump. This is what humanity is, independent of time. Recognizing our ancestors helps us remember that we are one link in a long chain that goes far back, and all of those people worked really hard to get us here where we are, and it is our responsibility to work very hard to keep humanity happening and going. So if you imagine, a spine, the vertebrae on a spine, we are each built on top of each other, and we each have that privilege of being built on past humans, and that luxury really of creating new humans, and that responsibility to take care of the earth for their future benefit. The third thing that we do that I think reflects my beliefs in earth-based spirituality is we meditate. So when we come into circle, we really get grounded into our bodies through meditation. So I invite everyone to close their eyes or whatever they do to get comfortable, and I lead us through a meditation. Lots of times it has a nature theme to it, but it's an opportunity to really start do a body scan or whatever exercise we're doing, to really get into reality, to forget what happened earlier today, to forget what is coming later in the day, and to focus on what is happening right now in your body, and to really come into presence with us in the circle, even when we're on Zoom, right? We imagine that we are all in a circle together. And the next thing we do that reflects my spiritual beliefs is that we are focusing on being in relationship with each other in an egalitarian way. So if you believe in equality, you find, I know I believe in equality, and I find the hierarchical structure to not serve relationships. So when we engage in our counsel sharing and our group sharing experience, we are all equal. We are all equally valued, we are all equally heard, and we are all equally supported, me included. So that's one way that shows up. And then another really important thing is that we are all looking to grow. So if you believe that we are part of the earth, right? We are all little bits of the surface of the earth bopping around for a little while, right? We require it to survive. We take little bits from the ground and we put it in our mouths, right, to keep going. If you believe that you're an earthling in that way, right, you didn't get plopped here from another planet, you are of the earth, right? And you believe that the properties of the earth apply to you too, then you can acknowledge that we are all always growing. Society is always changing, the earth is always changing, and we are always changing. So we have the opportunity to intentionally influence our own evolution, and that's an important part of my life, and that's what I bring to the coaching part of Circle. So that is how earth-based spirituality shows up in Circle. Thanks for listening.